Happy 50th anniversary, Mom and Dad.
Hi, Mom and Dad. Happy 50th wedding anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Mom and Dad.
Happy anniversary, Nana and Papa.
Love you, Nana and Papa. Thank you for staying together, and I hope you have a great weekend with the family. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Nana and Papa. Thank you for staying together and being loyal to each other. I love you guys.
Hey, what's up, Nana and Papa? I just wanted to tell you all we love you and happy anniversary. Me and Tanya are really appreciative for everything you always do for us, and yeah, we'd really love y'all. Thank y'all.
Stuart and Lorna, you guys are a model example of a Christian marriage in my mind. That's very, very much how I feel. Your sacrifice for each other over the years has been apparent. Sacrifice for the children has been apparent. Not only them, but you serving people outside of the home, delivering food to the needy, caring for people who are, losing loved ones and children even. Your small group, Lorna, just seeing you walk through all that, it's really been inspiring. And may God bless the rest of your life together. May you have 20 plus years. And happy anniversary. 50 years is a big one. We all love you and look to you for your strength and your support, your pillars in the family. So that's very much how we see you all. God bless and happy anniversary.
I was going to talk about what marriage means to me. Marriage is hard to define. It's a lifetime commitment that goes a lot further than feelings, emotions, and just day to day, because really when it comes down to it, it is about commitment, like sticking by somebody on their good days and their bad days, till death do you part. Your loyalty towards each other has definitely impacted me, because when you see it modeled, it makes it easier to try to do yourself. When people model the way for you, a lot of people that I know, my age group, people younger, didn't have models. I was asking Bobby and Ricky, who's some people that you know with a good marriage? And they thought it was a silly question. People cannot even answer that anymore. But if I had to give an answer to a good marriage, I would say my mom and dad. They showed us all along how to love one another and be committed to one another through the good and the bad. Your faithfulness towards one another has been the most impactful. I'm not going to cry, but I talked to Hannah about this previously, and Dad, your bravery, following Jesus and taking your cross and leaving everything behind, that's what you did, not for Mom, but for Jesus. But she led the way through that, and just your bravery in that decision and how your family treated you and how it changed your entire life. That made a really, really deep impact. I wish I could be that brave. And then Mom, your loyalty and wisdom, you're wise beyond years, and you never had to say anything to me. You just had to look at me. And it's just all combined impacts me. And those are things I would say that demonstrate your loyalty in your marriage. So I just want to tell you that I'm almost 50, and I'm just so glad you guys are alive. I'm so blessed to have you in my life. And the gratitude for your faithfulness to one another that you have had throughout the years, and your faithfulness to God that have deeply and on the highest level impacted my life, my marriage, and are going to impact the next generation. Thank you, and happy anniversary.
To me, marriage means getting together with somebody and sticking with them the rest of your life. Basically, commitment and holding to it through good and bad. Well, I learned about how to keep a marriage through Mom and Dad, and just everything basically about marriage from Mom and Dad. I remember when I was younger, thinking if it was me, there's no way I'd stick in this house if I was married to either one of them. But now that I'm older, it's had a lot of impact on me. Happy anniversary, Mom and Dad. Thank you all for being faithful to God and each other. Love you. Bye.
Happy 50th anniversary, Mom and Dad. One of the things we talked about is just Rachel, Aaron, and I was just thinking about what does marriage mean to us, and it is a commitment. It's it's that challenge of learning over the years to put that other person higher than yourself, which is not always easy to do, but I feel like you guys have succeeded in that. I feel like you gave that example to us growing up. And so it really is, it's not that saying it's not 50-50, it's 100-100. And I feel like you guys have given that 100% to each other through loyalty and being committed to one another, serving each other well, and serving us as your kids growing up well. And I feel like that is just the best example of a covenant that you can have. You guys really display that well. One of the things I think I've learned from your marriage, I had somebody recently tell Keith and I, you guys communicate well to each other. They were talking about how Keith and I always talk to each other about everything. Like, it seems like we always constantly having a conversation. And I feel like that's something on my side I learned from you. Like, granted, I like to talk, but I remember many road trips where I would listen to you guys just talking about the church, talking about the things that us kids are doing, talking about where you want to go, talking about family relationships. And I heard you guys communicate, and it seemed like one of the strongest points in your marriage has always been communication. And I stumbled upon a quote about marriage that I felt like was fitting for you guys. It says that a happy marriage is a long conversation that always seems to end too soon, or it's too short. And I felt like that is really, like, your marriage has been good. And so yeah, I wanted to say thank you to you guys for just staying faithful to one another, teaching me and Rachel and Aaron what it looks like to stay faithful when things get hard. I know you guys not everything's been easy, but you guys have fought the good fight, and you've shown what love is in Corinthians. You know, love is kind, it is gentle, it is long-suffering, and I feel like you guys have lived that example out well in your marriage. So thank you guys for staying faithful to God and staying faithful to one another.
Stuart and Lorna, you guys are a model example of a Christian marriage in my mind. That's very, very much how I feel. Your sacrifice for each other over the years has been apparent. Sacrifice for the children has been apparent. Not only them, but you serving people outside of the home, delivering food to the needy, caring for people who are, losing loved ones and children even. Your small group, Lorna, just seeing you walk through all that, it's really been inspiring. And may God bless the rest of your life together. May you have 20 plus years. And happy anniversary. 50 years is a big one. We all love you and look to you for your strength and your support, your pillars in the family. So that's very much how we see you all. God bless and happy anniversary.
We first met at the bowling alley in 1970. And we met with some friends there. If I had to define it, it was just a carefree time. It was just, we were just carefree. We were just got done with high school, and it was just a nice time. First date was, if I remember right, we went to a movie, we went to a Ripper stand, and we went to a park, and we walked around my high school campus. Yeah, I just think from a practical standpoint, we were very compatible. We came from different backgrounds, but it was just, she seemed to be more stable than me in terms of family, and I appreciated that.
How did you know over other girls that you liked her?
Because I just felt like when, we weren't together, then I missed her. And I just felt like we just hit it off. Well, I had a chance during the summer of 1973. I was in Naval ROTC, and I had a chance to go out to Rhode Island. And tried it for a short time, but I felt like I wanted to spend my commitment to your mother at that time. I felt like I wanted to get engaged to her and spend time with her, as opposed to being in the Navy at that point. I think just being able to communicate with each other, having a lot of give and take, just realizing that she can be right at times, and I don't have to be right all the time. It was important for us to make things work. The idea that Christianity has played an important role for me, in the sense that I look at Christ as being the model. You know, for the church, that he made a covenant with the church, a marriage covenant, and I feel like it's the same idea with a marriage between husband and wife. I think it's important to make that covenant, and I've tried to stick that out, and it's been important. Actually, I would say the best part of our marriage is overcoming obstacles together, working together to just raising kids, dealing with jobs, dealing with parents, things like that we had to work together, and I think that's been very useful. Raising a family, raising kids, making sure they're being taken care of properly, providing for your family, those kind of things. But I also think we had some unique faith difficulties when we first got married. There were challenges that, because of these differences, we had to work through them. And I would say those are some of the more difficult parts. Well, yeah, the wedding day was, I thought it was a very neat day. We had a lot of church believers that were there, and they made, actually, when it came to the family, I had one family member that was there, and that part was tough. But I remember I really enjoyed the whole process, and we had music, which was good, and just the vows and everything about it I thought was neat, and just the people that were there were important to me. The whole idea that Christ set up a covenant and a marriage covenant as him with the church is how I look at marriage. Marriage is the same commitment, and we should follow the same order. Christ has followed through on his end, and he is our model, and I feel like that's something important to me. Divorce is really never an option for us. We've had some tough times, but we've managed to work through them, and again, the idea of commitment to one another is really important. I think people that get married should have the attitude that they're going to stick it out and get help, learn how to listen to the other person, and try to make changes. Not so much trying to change the other person, but trying to work through changing yourself. Option, there's a lot of things we can do, and a lot of people and things that we can focus in on. I think it's more important to focus in on a few things and a few people, and to make that commitment to those things and to those people, rather than a whole bunch of, I just think that follow through is important on that. The other thing is, if you say you're going to do something, you need to make a point to do it. To be faithful, not only to your spouse and to each other and to your family, and just to be loyal. Pleasing God is the most important thing. It's pleasing people. Obviously, if you please God, I think in the way I think you'll follow through, and you'll influence people properly. And the little things are what I feel have mattered the most in life.
How did I meet Bappa? I met Bappa in April of 1970 at the bowling alley, which I don't remember, the Palladian, maybe, was the name of the bowling alley. I was with my friends Maureen and Luann, and he was with his friend Hoagie. They were walking in, we were walking out, and he said hi to us. And so he introduced himself. The other two girls kind of knew who he was, at least one of them did. So we introduced ourselves, and that was it. That was the first meeting we had. What was your first date like? Well, it occurred in June after we had both graduated from high school, probably the second Friday in June. And he asked me out, and we went in his parents' big old car. I feel strange looking at that thing. And I don't remember the order of the date, but we went over to Pikes Peak in McGregor and walked around that. We went and walked around Campion Jesuit High School, which is where Bappa went to school. We went to a movie. I don't remember. It seemed like it had to do with something under the sea. It was some really silly movie. And then we went to what became Coach's Drive-In, but I'm not sure what it was called at that point. You pulled in and they waited on you at the car. We went there and probably got hamburgers and fries or Cokes or something. And it was a very casual, nice little date. I don't remember what Bappa wore, but I wore a red and white striped top and white pants. I remember what I wore on that date even. I don't know.
That's decent.
I don't know. We just became really good friends, and we dated, and it just seemed like the direction we were supposed to go. There were no big voices from heaven telling me marry this person. No glamorous things happening. It's just, we just worked ourselves into knowing we were going to get married. Well, I think it was apart from the beginning. Bob and I have also talked about this because we had dated for quite a while. He was an unbelieving person, and I had a faith. It may have been an elementary faith, but I definitely had one. And I was kind of getting to a point, I knew that if we were going to get married, which we were thinking of doing, something was going to have to change, or we were going to have to break up. I knew we were getting to that point. And just things helped Bappa get interested in Christianity, and he became a Christian. And then we knew that we wanted to have more presence of faith in our marriage and family life, maybe than we did, in a different way anyway than it came out. Our original plans were maybe somewhat different, but I think we've managed to keep a hold of God through our marriage, and it's helped through some ups and downs. I think for me the best part is that when I talk to a lot of my friends who are married, I hear things that my marriage isn't. And one thing is, we talk a lot and we communicate a lot, and we kind of almost can read each other's minds at this point. And I think that's been good. And in our marriage, I think we were happy to have our 3 children. They were a really good part of our marriage, and I think where we were able to travel, things we were able to do in our life, and the grandchildren that we got have all been big blessings for us. The hardest part was, I think, the fact that half of our parents didn't appreciate the fact we got married, and it put a stress on us that was unnecessary, and that's been very hard. That was very hard, especially in the beginning. Very, very hard for both of us. You know, was starting our family and having our children. Rachel being the first. Rachel tried to do me in before we ever got started together, and just coming through that delivery and having her was super exciting. And then Hannah tried to also do me in, and she came earlier than we expected, and then she was a little bit on a sickly side when we had her, and so that was pretty exciting when she got going, and we had 2 little girls at the house, and then it was kind of neat when we had a son to go with our girls. And Rachel actually prayed that we would have another child, so Aaron can blame Rachel. She prayed out loud for our little brother, and she also named him. She wanted little brother Aaron, so he was known as Aaron through my whole pregnancy, and if he had been a girl, we would have broke from the biblical names to go with Aaron, E-R-I-N, if it had been a girl, because that baby was Aaron. So just having our family, my memories are all around our family. It is, it's about commitment and making a decision to be committed to that other person, to put God first, and sometimes that's difficult, but to always remember God's there in the ups and the downs. It's friendship and just experiences together. It's a lot of different things, I think. So, love. It's love.